of cookie-cutter campaigns, one candidate stands out. A candidate who has worked as a janitor and a journalist. A candidate who embraces the ideals of social justice, diversity, and social distancing. With over 14 years of relevant experience in the 45th District Court, a candidate whose 30 years of experience will have him prepared and ready to meet the demands of the public on day one. Coming this summer to a ballot near you. A candidate who has demonstrated over the years that he is committed to the community in which he resides.
He's a Renaissance man. Boy, could the bench use somebody like that. How often do you find a judge who is that intellectually curious, who has written screenplays, has written music, has done beautiful artwork, but then the other piece is this: emotional IQ, especially for a bench like that, is as important as anything else. And I do not remember Richard Halprin losing his temper. Not one that I've known.
We're going to you, Halprin, in 3, 2.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. You just saw a trailer that, if anybody does know me long enough, knows that in a former life I was a film critic and a big movie fan, and we thought it'd be a lot of fun to do an ad based on a movie trailer. In any event, we're happy to have you join us tonight. This is, everybody knows, it's a weird time. It's a weird summer. People are used to getting together outdoors, going to DTE, going to other places to see live music, going to their own neighborhood parks to see live music. And we thought it would be fun to put something together where we can get a little bit of messaging out on the campaign, and then do some fun activities with music. And I'm fortunate to have some very talented friends that are going to join us here tonight. So, for those of you who are joining but don't actually know me, my name is Richard Halprin. I am an attorney. I've been an attorney for the last 30 years, and I am running for judge in the 45th District Court, which covers Huntington Woods, Oak Park, Pleasant Ridge, and Royal Oak Township. We've had a judge there since 2003, Judge David Gubo, who is retiring this year, and this is an open seat. As I indicated, I've been an attorney for the last 30 years. I've been magistrate at that court for the last 14 years. And I'm going to go into my background a little bit. There's a lot of literature, there's a lot of information out there, but I can give you some of the numbers that jumped out at me when I was first contemplating a run and started to think about what have I done in the last 30 years. And what I can tell you is I've been an attorney largely representing indigent clients in both criminal and civil cases since I first started practicing back in 1990 or so. Both district court, circuit court, probate court, my practice is going to court, and I've been to probably 40 or more courts in the state of Michigan, probably been in front of more than 100 judges, and always take note of what I see, what works and what doesn't work. What are the good attorneys doing? What are the struggling attorneys doing? What are the good judges doing? What are the not so good judges doing? And make mental notes over the years. And so for the last 16 years, in addition to practicing law as a private practitioner, I was also one of the founding members of a group called the Michigan Children's Law Center. And our group, it's a nonprofit. We staff courtrooms and represent kids in Wayne County Juvenile Court, abuse and neglect victims, as well as kids that are facing delinquency charges. 2006, I was appointed to the magistrate in the 45th District Court, where I handle felony cases, misdemeanor cases, small claims, and traffic cases. Again, it was mind-boggling to me when I started looking at it and realized I'd handled about 14,000 hearings in the last 14 years. And in total, I've handled about 24,000 hearings in the last 30 years. So it is mind-boggling. It's crazy. The tagline of my campaign has been "Experience Matters." And I've talked about this before, and we'll talk a little bit tonight. Experience matters both in a courtroom and outside of a courtroom, because in a courtroom, a judge needs to have seen a variety of situations in a court. Everybody is presumed to understand the law. The trick to running a courtroom is understanding what's going on in your courtroom, juggling a busy docket, understanding the mood of the participants as a whole and individually, managing staff, attorneys running late, clients running late, curveballs, fastballs, all kinds of things that you cannot get a sense for if you haven't done it. It takes a long time to get yourself in a position where you're truly acclimated with court. So part of what experience matters means is understanding what happens in a courtroom and how to best manage a courtroom. When you're a judge in a courtroom, you are the ringmaster, you're the maestro. In some situations, you're more than that. Since I've been coming to the 45th District Court, not only have I been the hearing officer, I've been my own clerk. I'm certified as an electronic reporter, so on the days I go in, on holidays, I am the staff, I am the court, I am the clerk. I do it all. I know our court inside and out. I even know where they hide the lifesavers. So understanding a court from beginning to end and all the things that happen in a courtroom is very important, because it makes people feel at ease. Judges that don't know what they're doing or are cranky or feel like they're not being respected tend to lash out at people, or they stop listening, or they have a level of arrogance. Judges who are comfortable with themselves and what they see before them tend to interact better with people, and that's part of what I bring. But when in news stories, I know on sports television, they say, let's go inside the numbers. What do these numbers actually mean? All these hearings that I've done, all these years of representing indigent clients, and all these years as a magistrate, what does it actually mean? Well, what I can explain to you is that there's a big movement in our world right now, and we've been watching this, about the disconnect between the system and the people, especially minorities. And it's the system, it is the government, it is law enforcement, it is the judicial, the justice system. And there's a disconnect because too many people do not have the experience culturally to understand the people that are outside of their own experiences. And so you've got people that just don't get how others live. And what I can explain, and I think this is something that's really important that's helped me over the years, representing indigent clients is not just going to court. It's meeting with people. It's meeting with them in their homes. It's meeting with them out in the community. It's talking about their concerns. It's about talking about their cases. As an attorney that represents children and children's rights, I've gone to hundreds and hundreds of homes. Some kids are in foster care. There's generally low-income homes in the city of Detroit and in Wayne County. And I hear stories of adults, grandparents who've taken their grandchildren in because the parents' lives have come apart. I hear the stories of these kids that are, whether they're in foster homes or they're placed with family, who are afraid to leave their house after they get home from school. The neighborhoods have gotten shot up. Kids have been killed in front of them. I've had clients who were, 8-year-old kid was at a birthday party and someone shot up the house behind him, and the girl's aunt was just innocently there pulling out a birthday cake and took a bullet through the head. I've talked to hundreds and hundreds of these people over the years that have gone through all kinds of tragedies and stresses. And what had occurred to me is that what we see with war veterans, they suffer from something called post-traumatic stress disorder. The kids that we see coming through in many of the inner city homes have something that's very similar, except we would call it present tense stress disorder. Kids are growing up stressed out. People that don't live in that kind of environment can't possibly understand. And until you've been to the homes and you've talked to the kids and you've talked to the parents, you've talked to the grandparents, or you've talked to your criminal clients or your low-income clients on civil cases, and understand the choices that they've had to make to get through their daily lives. And you see why people have a fear of coming to the court system. Too many people come to the court system afraid of court, especially on the criminal cases. I see this as a defense attorney, and I've seen this as a magistrate. One of the things that has saddened me and gives me the best insight with regard to the way people feel about court is when I'm handling someone who's been brought in on a bench warrant, which means they didn't come to court on a previous time, and they got picked up by the police. Sometimes they turn themselves in, but frequently they're brought in by law enforcement. And I will say to them, why didn't you come to court back in July of 2017? You didn't come to court and the judge had to issue a bench warrant that day. And frequently what they will tell me is I was afraid to come to court. And then I would look through our files and I'd see that they'd never had a case in our court before. And I'd say to them, well, you've never been to this court. And we would talk about that. And so after doing this for so long and so many hundreds of clients, probably thousands of clients and thousands of hearings, it occurred to me that the people that come to court are bringing the sum of their experiences and their perceptions. And perception is reality, and reality is perception. And the only way to change reality or perception is to change people's experiences. And so when people are in my court, when I'm acting as magistrate, when I'm acting as public defender, it's very similar to when someone's gone to a doctor and they're not feeling well and they're nervous and they don't know what's going on and there's a lot of anxiety. The role of a defense attorney, the role of an advocate for children and children's rights proceedings, and the role of the judiciary, in addition to finding justice and making good decisions, is making people feel comfortable. Because when people are comfortable, they will make better decisions on their own. And so what I've learned after talking to all these people and all these experiences in all my different capacities is that the experiences of low-income people and minorities are different than the experiences that other cultures, other socioeconomic groups have experienced. And when you've got judges who don't have that kind of reality contact with every kind of person, every kind of ethnicity, every kind of socioeconomic group, every kind of racial group, you don't get decisions that are quite as compassionate. The law might be applied equally most of the time, but the decisions, the discretion that a court can use within the law is certainly informed by the court's own personal experiences. So what I'm offering to the people of Huntington Woods, Oak Park, Pleasant Ridge, and Royal Oak Township, and anybody who happens to be in our court from any other community, from any city or state, is a person who has seen it all from so many different perspectives. And I will not claim to totally get the black experience or the low-income experience or the minority experience, but I have a pretty good idea because I'm a good listener and I've been listening over the years to the experiences. These are stories that I won't forget. These are people that I won't forget. And as judge in the 45th District Court, what I will be bringing not only is an understanding of the law and an understanding of how to run a courtroom properly and efficiently, but how to bring compassion and understanding to people so that when they leave our court, they don't feel like the system let them down. They need to feel that the system helped them and heard them. And even if they were in the wrong, they have to feel like they had a fair chance to be heard and get a sensible outcome. Because then when they go to the next court, whether it's in Oak Park or Southfield or River Rouge, maybe their experience will be a little different. And when they tell people how well things went for them in the 45th District Court, maybe the next person won't be so afraid to come to court and they won't have a bench warrant and they won't get picked up on a bench warrant and then sit in jail because they couldn't post a bond that may or may not have been reasonable. So when I'm judge, what I'd be offering is experience and empathy and a perspective and an understanding that the bail system has failed people, that we need more treatment courts. Most people come to court, especially the repeaters, have trauma. The trauma needs to be addressed. Legislatively, things need to happen. The world, it's one thing for the murderers and the arsonists and people that do terrible things to other people, but most of the cases that come through district court are people that have used bad judgment. They haven't really hurt anybody or not too bad. Most of the cases are or what we'd only call, it's not Latin term, but they're rinky-dink. And so a court should be in a position to be helping the community and not harming the people that come through it. This is what I offer, and I will be happy to answer any questions that want to come through. But we're going to take a moment now for questions, and we're going to watch a video and move on to the more entertaining part of the evening.
I am in support of Rick Halprin for the judge of the 45th District Court. I think that this is a perfect fit for him. You know, being a magistrate in this court, knowing it inside and out, coupled with his temperament and his all-around intellect, I think he's a perfect fit for this position.
As promised, we're going to get to the more entertaining part, and as indicated before, I'm blessed to have some very talented friends, and one of them actually lives in our neighborhood. So I'm going to welcome Ryan Trager, and sit back and enjoy. He's got a beautiful voice and a great style to him.
This one's called Don't Let Them In. It's an original. Don't let them fool you to the way of thinking. Don't give them a reason to believe you're with them. 'Cause once they find you, they're not leaving. Oh, don't let them in. Don't let them in. Don't let them in. Build yourself a shelter to protect you from the shit that they flame. Oh, don't let them in. And when they ask you to go with them, promise to show you the secret to winning. It's just a suggestion from my experience. Oh, please don't let them in. Don't let them in. Don't let them in. 'Cause there's no starting over once they sink their teeth in. Oh, don't let them in. 'Cause it's hard enough not to drown in your own doubt without their voices dragging you down. Oh, don't let them They will give you 1,000 reasons, and you'll be tempted to believe them, that all their convictions just a fiction. Oh, please don't let them in. Don't let them in. Don't let them in. 'Cause there's no starting over once they sink their teeth in. Oh, don't let them in. Richard asked, if we wanted to do a song that was in the spirit of the times and crazy times, right? So, a song that came to mind is a song called White Man's World by Jason Isbell. So we're gonna take a crack at that one. Are you on? Under our roof is a baby girl. I thought this world could be hers one day, but her mama knew better. I'm a white man living in a white man's town. Wanna take a shot of cocaine and burn it down. Mama wants to change that Nashville sound, but they're never gonna let her. There's no such thing as someone else's war. Your creature comforts aren't the only things worth fighting for. You're still breathing, it's not too late. We're all carrying one big burden, sharing one fate. I'm a white man living on a white man's street. Got the bones of the red man under my feet. Highway runs through the burial ground, past the oceans of cotton. I'm a white man looking in a black man's eyes, wishing I'd never been one of the guys who pretended not to hear another white man's joke. Yeah, times ain't forgotten. There's no such thing as someone else's war. Your creature comforts aren't the only things worth fighting for. Still breathing, it's not too late. We're all carrying one big word and sharing one fate. I'm a white man living in a white man's nation. Think the man upstairs must have took a vacation. I still have faith, but I don't know why. Maybe it's the fire in my little girl's eyes. Maybe it's the fire in my little girl's eyes. Broken glass under my feet again. Used to cut me up, now I got thicker skin. Don't think I've been around this bend before, but I'm not slowing down no matter what's in store. And I'll never lose this fight. I might burn out the flame, but never the pilot light. Lost a love I never found again, but my heart's not broken, only broken in. I'm not afraid of getting kicked in the shins. Used to knock me down, then I got up again. And I'll never lose this fight. I might burn out the flame, but never the pilot light. Never the pilot light.
drive over. Broken glass under my feet again used to cut me up, now I got thicker skin. And I'll never lose this fight. I might burn out the flame, but never the pilot light. Never the pilot light. Never the pilot light.
Thank you, guys. And thank you, Richard, for having me again and putting this event on. This is fantastic.
Real world human problems, flesh and bone, and it's going to need somebody as well-rounded as possible. The big factor for me is what kind of experience does somebody have, their deportment. Like I say, it's a very particular matter. People have challenges. A lot of folks are coming in there for the very first time. Somebody that's practiced every aspect of law and has also sat as a magistrate in that exact district, I think would be the best fit.
Morning silence chills the air. All my ploys are now laid bare. We make such an awkward pair, but I'm in love with you. I have strayed and been untrue, done things good boys never do. I'm a farce and I'm a fool, but I'm in love with you. Baby, baby, don't you worry. You can make it on your own. But with me, it's a different story. I'm too weak to be alone. We have made a mess of things, broken nearly everything. You won't even wear your ring, but I'm in love with you. Baby, baby, don't you worry. You can make it on your own. But with me, it's a different story. I'm too weak to be alone.
He has the intellect, he has the experience, he has the judicial temperament, he has the empathy, he has the patience, and he has the responsibility for performing the job that would make him an outstanding judge.
Okay. Thank you again for joining us. We've had Ryan Trager. We've had my friend Alex. There is an opportunity if anybody wants to ask any questions, we can get to questions. But while we're waiting for our final performance to get going, I will tell you that I'm glad that people were able to join tonight. I think that what's important about this campaign is for people to remember is that you're electing somebody for the 6-year term, and that person needs to have the background of criminal law, the background of civil law, and a background of having empathy and the ability to walk and talk with people of all different kinds. I'm an attorney, I'm a magistrate, I'm an artist, I'm a musician, and I bring to the court not just my experiences, but my sensibilities as both an attorney, artist, and musician, which means I look for balance, I look for perspective, I look for complexities, simplicities, and truth. Those are all the things that people love about art and music, and it's very important to have that kind of perspective on the bench. So, without going any further, we are going to now enjoy music from a person that I'm happy to call a friend, happy to call a guitar teacher, and happy to have with us tonight. She is an acclaimed singer, songwriter, a wonderful person, and you're going to enjoy her immensely. I know I do every time. And so without any further, I give to you Emily Rose. Emily, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me. Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. But I say love, it is a flower, and you, it's only seed. It's the heart, afraid of breaking, that never learns to dance. And the dream, afraid of waking, that never takes the chance. It's the one who won't be taken, who cannot seem to give. And the soul, afraid of dying, that never learns to live. So when the night has been too lonely and the road has been too long, and you think that that love is only for the lucky and the strong. Just remember, in the winter, far beneath the bitter snow, lies the seed lit with the sun's love. In the springtime becomes the rose.
Love that song. Such a, yeah, gets me. I'm gonna do a couple original songs now, and thanks Ryan and Alex for playing before. So good to see some live music. This song is kind of new. It's called Alma.
Alma, we've been married 60 years and still I live for the sight of your smile, big and bright like a kid. And to think it all began at a silly high school dance. Like a portrait, I preserved it in my mind. Alma, oh so steady, on the dot was supper time. You gathered our loose pages, sewed us up a spine, and our family it grew. Time as it does flew. Do you remember? Love me tender, love me true. Alma, I am stubborn and I do things on my own. It's part of who I am. It's what I was shown. I put these little notes all around the house. This one is your toothbrush, and here is your nightgown. Won't you sit with me tonight and watch the sun go down? Alma, I've been hiding that my body's failing too. The children want to help, but that's not what we do. You don't recognize me, but my life I promised you. And I won't leave your side. Alma, I've been thinking that we should slip away, leave our broken bodies on the bed where they lay, and we'll go dancing once again under the stars. That's where I first found your heart.
Got just a couple more for you. Everyone doing okay? Feeling good?
Yep.
All right. Very well. This is a real brand new song I wrote during this time of sheltering in place. A lot of time to self-reflect, and started kind of going down memory lane, if you will. And this is a song about changing your relationship with the past, or realizing that your relationship with the past has changed. It's called Shoebox Island.
In a place long forgotten, I washed ashore, insatiably curious, or was I just bored? Old photographs hanging on trees, old poems are droplets on leaves, like my old lovers who lie there in the shade. I thought this place would never change, but something is different. I noticed it when a feeling arose, subtle as dust, settling. One part nostalgia, 2 parts good grief. Free from a few old stories I used to believe. A few moments so tender, the air smells sweet. On Shoebox Island, Shoebox Island. Should a notion return me, if time allows? I can't let yesterdays borrow up too many nows. Took a lesson from roles I played, left a pitcher of lemonade for my old lovers who lie there in the shade. On Shoebox Island, Shoebox Island.
Alrighty, I'm gonna just finish it out with one more. I'm gonna do, gosh, I didn't really plan it. I just like to go with the flow, you know? Any Jim Croce fans out there? It's 2 out of 10, so okay. Oh, 3. Jim Croce's my favorite. Well, one of my favorites. I got like 10 favorites. He's up there.
Operator, could you help me place this call? Seems the number on the matchbook's old and faded. She's living in LA with my best old ex-friend Ray. Guy she said she knew well and sometimes hated. But isn't that the way they say it goes? Well, let's forget all of that and give me the number if you can find it, so I can call just to tell him I'm fine and to show I've overcome the blow, learned to take it well. Only wish my words could just convince myself it just wasn't real, but that's not the way it feels. Operator, could you help me place this call? I can't read the number that you just gave me. There's something in my eyes, you know it happens every time. I think about the love that I thought would save me. But isn't that the way they say it goes? Let's forget all of that and give me the number if you can find it, so I can call just to tell him I'm fine and to show I've overcome the blow. I learned to take it well. Only wish my words could just convince myself that it just wasn't real, but that's not the way it feels. No, 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 no. That's not the way it feels. Operator, just forget about this call. There's no one there I really wanted to talk to. Thank you for your time. You've been so much more than kind. You can keep the dime. Isn't that the way they say it goes? Well, let's forget all of that and give me the number if you can find it, so I can call to tell him I'm fine and to show I've overcome the blow, learned to take it well. Only wish my words could just convince myself that it just wasn't real, but that's not the way it feels.
Thanks, everyone. Have a beautiful evening. Take care. Stay safe.